see if I can look back over here and find Mr. Newsom on with me. Yay!
Can you hear me?
Hi, Jim. Yes, I can hear you great. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm at one of my clients. I've had a problem signing on, but I'm here. Sorry for the delay.
Okay. No problem. I'm experiencing an issue right now where the camera is concerned. So there's where I see pictures. I don't see any video content. So but I guess whoever is watching me, they actually can see the video content itself. It says we have a few viewers. So is
Yes,
it
I see
possible
the
that you could
video
turn your
content.
sound up at all?
See, turn my sound up.
Yes.
It's maxed up right now.
Okay. Let me see
Maybe if
if...
I talk closer to the computer, is that better?
Not really. Let me check and see if anyone out there can actually hear you, because I don't hear you that well, but I can hear you enough. If I reel in really close, then I can hear you. Mr. Bird, if you can actually hear Mr. Newsom, can you leave a message on my Facebook page and let me know that you can hear him?
We should have a group chat if he's on the side.
Right. I didn't even turn that on. I was up here fighting with the video content. Okay, so let's see. Okay, well, I want to welcome you to the Facebook face-to-face chat for the Urban Tech Fair, City Leaders, and the Google Hangout. Mr. Newsom, I would really love for you to explain more about the Urban Tech Fair. I've been sitting here chatting away with myself about it, so let me see what he said. He said that he can hear you fine, so you can go ahead and explain that, and it's recording, so then we can actually put this out and saturate the internet with content about this actual event. So I'll give you the floor.
Okay, thank you. The Urban Tech Fair is a national movement to promote access, education, and commerce. We believe that Silicon Valley exists in all our community. Everything you need to succeed in the dot-com world exists around you. Simply speaking, the Urban Tech Fair is a national showcase providing access and education while promoting commerce in our own communities. Our mission is to demonstrate that Silicon Valley, in other words, entrepreneurship and innovation, exists in our own backyard by creating technology-based collaboration amongst local tech resources, community organizations, and businesses. We are working to showcase all the good organizations and good work that's being done right now in our community every day. Uh, the Boys and Girls Club has computer centers. The local Baptist church has computer centers. The state has computer centers. There's resources all around you in terms of gaining access and being able to gain the knowledge that they're giving away. And we're hoping that over a 30-day period of on-the-ground and in-the-cloud experience, we can showcase, highlight, and inspire you to use those different resources that are in your own backyard. A lot of people are unaware of the geek that lives down the street, but every family, every black family I know has a 12-year-old or a teenager that can work any device backwards and forward, don't need paper or pencil. So we can begin to focus our youth on a programming, a producer, becoming a producer, a programmer of digital content, just like we focus them on being a baseball player or a musician. If we can get them involved in learning code, we can begin to lift up the whole community into the 21st century. We believe that the commerce of the future will be products of the mind. Those things that you can create in your imagination, manifest through technology, and then market and sell with the click of a mouse. This is going to be the wheat and the oil of the future. And if we as a community, as a people, are going to survive, we need to be involved on the cutting edge of technology. We are the originators of American pop content, and American content sells at a premium all over the world. So it's time for us to become producers instead of just consumers of this content. And we believe that the talent exists in every corner, from Harlem to Imperial Beach in San Diego, from Seattle, Washington, down to Miami, Florida. That there are talented, unbelievable, gifted kids in our community waiting to develop new products, new goods and services, and new ideas that will lift up everybody in the community. Now, how do I mean that? Let's say that a startup or a new .com company, be they a game developer or app developer, is a basic core of 3 people. Well, if you get 2 new companies, 2 new startups in your neighborhood, they're going to need janitors, they're going to have to buy lunches from someplace, they're going to buy cars, they're going to use services in the community. If we get 20 startups going, then we begin to create auxiliary jobs all around that and begin to lift the community up so that we no longer have to look to corporations for handouts or the government for handouts, but we can do for self. They're giving away the knowledge for free. We just need to take advantage of it.
Outstanding. And so, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, going forward, how is this going to economically impact, or how do we plan to economically impact these individual cities with a movement like this?
Well, it's my belief that this movement is taking place already. It's just undercover. You know, geeks have always been considered on the downside of our community. It's time that we figured out a way to make smart kids popular. As I said, every Boys and Girls Club in America is now offering different coding and programming courses. They have different different community organizations such as Blacks in Technology, Blacks in Gaming, NAACP, Urban League, that are providing these courses right now nationwide. And it's merely a matter of making the everyday person in our community aware of where they can go to take advantage of these programs. For example, I was at the Google headquarters last night here in LA for the celebration of Black History Month. And there was over 150 different people there that were engineers, programmers, students, entrepreneurs. And when you talk about where the next black startup is coming, it's coming from places like that room.
Outstanding. And so we have a question that actually came in, Mr. Newsom, and it is from Steve Bird. And Steve wanted to know what you think of 9 out of every 10 schools in the U.S. not teaching computer science.
Well, America is a third world when it comes to the educational system worldwide. I think we're ranked 27th or 30th in the world when it comes to education. When you look at countries like Korea that have went all digital and have eliminated textbooks, and here in Los Angeles they're fighting tooth and nail to stop them from we're spending $1 billion on textbooks for the LA Unified School System, and people are arguing and fighting with them to stop the purchase of the textbooks, the iPads, so that they can do remodeling and traditional schoolwork. We've got to have parents, students, the whole community involved in getting out and informing people of the opportunities, informing people where to go. For example, you can go to code.org, which is a program set up by President Obama, and there's over 30 different tutorials right there that will teach you everything from HTML5 to Ruby to C++, teach you how to create your own video games. As President Obama says, why play a game when you can create one? The knowledge is there. The organizations are there. The volunteers and the people such as yourself are there. It's just a matter of coalescing, getting everybody to come together and collaborate together and to support each other. So to answer his question in terms of the current status of the U.S. school system, this is something that we've got to fight tooth and nail across the country to get people out of that 18th century mentality and into a 21st century mentality and realize the importance of how the world is changing, and is changing so quickly. For example, every car now has an entertainment system in it instead of a radio. If you can understand that every car has an
Right.
entertainment system in it instead of a radio, that entertainment system runs on Linux. The computers and sensors in your cars run on Linux, open source software, which you can easily download, change, and modify to meet your own personal needs. It's no secret. It's there. Now, if we create an add-on product for a Toyota or a car here, such as uh, let me give you an example. I like to quote this example of a 11-year-old girl that went to an AT&T hackathon on how to make driving safer. Now, this 11-year-old girl has no formal coding experience. She walked in there on Friday night, came up with an idea, and on Sunday, she not only had her own mobile app, but she walked out with, I believe it was $20,000 cash prize. And what was her idea?
Outstanding.
Was since every phone has a GPS embedded in it, the phone knows when it's moving. So if the phone is moving past a certain speed, then the phone would bark at you or make a noise at you to stop you from texting or talking while driving. Real simple. Got her $20,000. Doesn't take a brain surgeon. They're looking for ideas. That's why they're giving away the tools for free. So I go back to the importance of parents, the importance of our political leaders, community leaders, to emphasize and break down the structures of the school systems, the bureaucracies, the entrenched mentality, and get them aware of the fact that companies such as, what is it, WhatsApp hasn't been around 3 years. Well, no, I'm sorry. They've been around 5 years. It got funded 3 years ago. They got funded for $250,000 3 years ago. They sold last week for $20 billion. Facebook hasn't been around 10 years. We all know what Zuckerberg's worth. These kids can be generating that type of money right now, today, based on nothing but the ideas and the imaginations of their mind. This is why it's so important that parents become involved in the school system, that community leaders support the parents, and that we begin to change that structure of trying to go from an agricultural, machine industrial society where the school system was set up in time so that the kids would be able to work in the fields or work in the factories and come back, and move to a level of where we're digital, mobile, and worldwide.
I mean, for me, I feel the major impact where technology can absolutely um, just change the world. I mean, it already has. I don't think a lot of people realize how much it has impacted their actual universe, because everything has been interwoven into their common society. And I think that, just to think about that on a real level, 11-year-old girl walks into a room with no prior knowledge, creates something of a business of her own, walks out with 20 grand cash. And then has a business,
If you
just
want
from
to
an
talk
idea
about the,
in a weekend. And
if you want
I
to
mean,
talk
I've
about
been
the
to a
impact
hackathon. I sold businesses
of
over a
technology,
weekend.
if we want to talk about the impact of technology, they're now saying that mobile technology and wireless technology can end, S-E-N-D, end poverty in Africa. They have a company called
I
Impasa out of
believe it.
Kenya. And Impasa has been around less than 5 years. They now do more transactions over cell phones in Kenya than Western Union does worldwide, because now a farmer in a back village isn't forced to buy what the local dealer is selling. He can now reach out to other villages and get a better or a higher price for a better deal for his goods and services, and therefore generate more money for his community and more money for his family. So technology is changing every aspect of our world. We all more people have cell phones than they have toothbrushes. There are more cell phones in the world
Yes.
now than there are toothbrushes, and each one of them is a potential customer. As I tell people often, the same mobile app or video game that we develop in LA or Atlanta or Harlem will work in Russia, will work in South Africa, will work in Brazil. It's
Yeah.
merely a matter of selling it without packaging, storing, or shipping anything electronically.
I love this type of impact because I see lives and I see nationalities having a new face. I see the story of what might have been at one point a historic downturn for a full population of people becoming a story of triumph and victory over what might have been poverty, what might have been a downtrodden population, what might have been a population where people look down upon them. This is an empowerment move for me. I truly see where, I mean, even just going on code.org, I went on there and you get a certificate, gives you an achievement. It was something that you could play a video game and literally learn how to code. Well, ironically, while I was doing it, I realized I did that my freshman year in college. I actually know how to code. I just forgot. So I hadn't actually touched it in a while. And I mean, it's not that complicated. And I learned it on another system where I think it was the Sun system when we did it back in 95, 96. So I just went over that, and it was very simple. It was just like playing a video game, and they give you step-by-step tutorials. It was actually more informative than my actual classroom was. So, I mean, all this stuff is free information, free education, and it's a new way for us to take over what might be a downturn economy and flip it back over on the right side. I'm really excited about that, and I would love for people just to get on board and get it, because I hear people who are afraid of technology, and I truly believe that a message about technology, a negative message, was sent out intentionally in order to keep people shackled from it, because once people get and understand there is absolutely no limitation where this is concerned, this is going to revolutionize the world, not just for an internet purpose, because the internet has connected people worldwide. We no longer have to worry about, time and space constraints, because time and space don't exist anymore where the internet is concerned. And that's very interesting to me. We have literally leveled out time and space, because now where I would have had to wait on the post office to send a message to somebody who is in Japan, I can now get on Facebook and say, hey, I'm sitting in front of my laptop, and I have a Google Hangout. Join me. Something that could have never happened before in the last 20 years, 30 years, has actually taken hold and really taken over the entire universe, to where we're now looking at internet.org. We're trying to create something for the entire world to participate on, a platform that connects us, like the body that people in all religions are looking to create. So I think it's very interesting. The one thing that I hear people afraid of is the one thing that's actually helping and saving many of us.
That is so true, and we've basically been talking about one niche factor of technology vis-a-vis mobile communication and programming, such as for mobile apps and video games. But when you stop to think about 3D
Correct.
printing, where you can go to Atlanta and pick you out a souvenir and have it printed on demand, manufactured on demand in another country. Think about the markets that's going to open up. You look at augmented reality, such as Google Glass, and how they're using that in medicine, and they're using that for different industries. I mean, the whole world. We start talking about nanotechnology. We start talking about
Wow.
machine-to-machine communications, where cars are talking to each other as we drive down the road. You start talking about digital fashions, where they have fibers now that literally change colors based on the environment. So you could have a dress that's blue when you walk in the room and red when you walk out. I mean, the opportunities are unlimited.
This is where our imagination is actually utilized on a platform for the world to see. And I'm really excited about what it is that people can now tap into. Because, again, limitless possibilities and great strides in healthcare and in education, where things can actually be changed. I mean, eco-friendly opportunities for the world to figure out some of the issues that we have with the planet, all because of technology. I'm really excited about it, and I just don't see how people could be so disconnected, and people think I'm nerdy, and I'm like, I'm just really thrilled about this because I've had the vision and I get it. I get it
And
wholeheartedly. Even if I'm not a
that's what the
tech geek,
urban tech
I'm
fair
still.
That's what the Urban Tech Fair is about. People like yourself that are out there in the trenches, that are working in the community every day, that are sharing this type of knowledge and resources, but are not getting any recognition. We are a marvelous people doing fantastic things with little or no resources. So it's time for us to
Yes.
come together as a community and lift our own selves up and quit waiting for somebody to lead us by the nose and tell us it's all right because Oprah said it on TV. It's all right
Yes.
because you thought it up. That makes it right. If something has value or purpose to you, in a world as wide as we are now, as we were speaking of being interconnected worldwide, in a world as big as we are now, there's a 50-50 chance that other people feel the same way you is, just getting your product in front of them, getting your service out there, making yourself available, and taking that risk. If Silicon Valley is about innovation and entrepreneurship, where better to find it than in our community? We've been making something out of nothing for generations. That's what the whole word gumbo and jazz was all about. Think what we can do once we really get geared in to creating all types of new services, products, and goods based on technology. I believe the talent is there. I believe the willingness is there. I believe people such as yourself are there. And it's simply a matter of creating a forum, a town hall, a tent, someplace they can come and gather and shake hands and share information.
I've had this thing where I keep telling people, come learn with me. And I think that we've had this disconnect because we have people who are techie geeks, and they speak the tech jargon. And then you have people who have never even thought about technology and they use it. So you have the number one consumer of technology is African American people. So, and our disconnect is that we only represent 5% of the whole entire technology industry. Same thing with Hispanics. Same things with women. All 5%. And my thought is, okay, well, while you are utilizing this technology, let's take it and make some of it. Let's take it and make some of the money that is actually going behind technology because the world is paying for it. We're the people who are just using it. And so now it's time for us to make money from it and create the products that we're not creating in the United States. Employ people with jobs in the United States to turn around and help people get educated and catch up and give free education because it's right there on the internet in the United States. To make this simple and palatable. And that's why I developed a taste of technology in order to get people in a place where they're comfortable around food. And let's talk about technology. And people really had a good time. They had fun, and I thought, okay, well, let's do this again. And so, coming soon, I'll be doing something where we'll have bring your daughter for a taste of technology. Because my thought is, okay, well, let's get girls involved with this on a level that they're not looking for. And I have a gentleman who will be speaking about a TV entertainment program, but he is an absolutely emphatically wonderful public speaker. He also, on our end here in Atlanta, will be participating in the Urban Tech Fair, and that's Rashid Brown, the author of Careergonomics, and it's going to be greatly impactful. I can't wait to do something with urban technology, and I'm really excited about this. So I hope we could maybe do this every week and get more people to participate with us. Jim, what do you think?
I think that would be a great idea. We at the Urban Tech Fair are using every social media platform available to market and promote this concept of community empowerment through tech, doing for self.
Speaking,
We all have these
speaking of that, why don't
ideas.
you plug your show, The Digital Drummer?
We do, again, the Urban Tech Fair was born out of the social networking movement. That's how we started. Because if you remember the CNN special about is Silicon Valley the promised land, and
Yeah.
when the publisher of TechCrunch, a magazine that focuses on startup entrepreneurs, could not name one black entrepreneur, that brought an issue up in our community when I or you can name 10. Why don't they know about it? So the issue becomes that we've got to promote and control and market ourselves, because try and think of her name, has a program, one of the Urban Tech Fair groups, Tech Divas. And like you do the taste of technology with food, they do it with wine. There's so many different programs.
Right.
Every day I'm learning about different organizations and projects and meetings and so forth. So to go back to your question about plugging my own show, if you Google my name, Jim Newsom, they spelled it wrong on the screen. It's Neusom, no E. If you Google my name, you will find wherever you are, I am. From LinkedIn to Black Planet, from YouTube to Google Plus. We're there everywhere, every 2 weeks. Starting, I think this Sunday, we have a blog talk radio show where we have guests, national guests from around the country, such as yourself, on talking about technology. We do that twice a month, and then we have national conference calls, the in between. So every weekend we have something going on, trying to bring people together, letting them find out about each other, collaborate, network, and hoping that we could generate some sparks. Because the Urban Tech Fair is not a charity.
Okay.
It's not about another hand me out gift. Let's help them poor people. The Urban Tech Fair is about social entrepreneurship, making money doing community good. And that's what we're about, is showing people how to make money. It's about commerce, showing them how to use these vanity items that they have on their hips as the way to put dollars in their pockets.
Okay, and Jim, thank you so much for coordinating this economic development plan for not just the urban communities, but for everybody. I think everybody needs to know that they actually have an open door to participate in this. It is for a platform to expose what's in the urban community, but I think that to get other people involved and bring them in is a huge benefit to everybody. To supporting the urban tech communities would actually be phenomenal for everyone involved within the cities, especially here in Atlanta when we have a 59% African American population. But I want to thank you for joining me, because you know Scandal is about to come on, so we're probably going to lose a lot of people. It's the premiere, but I did want to put this out before Scandal came on and get it recorded, and that way we can send it out virally. And again, I did have some mishaps in the beginning of the show, still am, because I don't see the camera, but apparently everybody can see me, so that's great. But we'll send this out, this link on everybody's pages that wants to participate in this and getting this word out. We can do this every week, because the more people that actually send this out, the bigger this message grows. So this is something that I think is a great impact for you. It's a great impact for me, but it's a great impact for everybody else who'll be participating also. Music, theater, industries of car or metals, and anybody who wants to participate, technology communities. So I look forward to this. I'm really excited about it, and I guess I'll see you next week in the same place.
If I could say this in closing, is that if technology can end poverty in Africa, what can it do in Harlem? What can it do in the wards in Dallas?
Wow.
What can it do in South Central LA? It's time for us to do for self.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jim Newsom, Urban Tech Fair founder and creator. And we will be back next week with this same topic on the Urban Tech Fair. And hopefully the other leaders can jump in and participate the next time. And we'll set up the call and hopefully we'll work out the bugs. So I'm CAIRO QWEEN, and this is Facebook Face to Face. I'll be doing this, I guess, every Sunday, and probably not next week. I have to go to my grandfather's funeral, but I'll do something before I leave. But we'll be doing this regularly just to utilize the free platform for Google+. Thank you so much, and we're out.